So for our pre-primary, we came out with a new methodology, which is the 3I methodology, which is an acronym for integrated, interrelated, and interconnected. Okay, so what does that actually mean? When we talk about the learning at an early age, and when we say early age, this is the age that we are focusing of the children who are in playgroup, nursery, junior KG, and senior KG, right? So what would they learn? Very simple, basic stuff, right? A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, rhymes, poems, songs, stories, and all of it. How can it be different than what it is in A, B, C, D, and 1, 2, 3, 4? Correct? What we thought was to bring about the integrated approach of correlating whatever they are learning. For them, the learning is actually a holistic learning. They learn everything. Whatever we teach them, they learn. They don't know whether this is English, whether this is mathematics, whether this is some computer science or something else. Whatever is given to them, they learn it. It's only for us, and when we grow a little older, that we start bifurcating it as science, math, English, social studies, geography, algebra, falana dhimkana, right? So if we were to look at only 1, 2, 3, 4, ABCD and all these simple things, what can we bring as value to the table is depicted in the 3I methodology, which is, remember this, integrated, interrelated, and interconnected. Okay, and how did we go about doing this? We'll cover it in this presentation. So context setting. We talk about the early childhood care and education. The acronym is ECCE, which is basically the foundation of learning. These are formative years. These are very important years of any individual, any child, to be good in the life going forward. So I've just picked up some points from the National Education Policy again. So whatever you're seeing here is all picked up from the National Education Policy. And what does it say? Over 85% of cumulative brain development occurs prior to the age of 6. And that's the age that we are talking about in playgroup, nursery, junior KG, and senior KG. Prior to the age of 6, 85% of cumulative brain. Oh my goodness, this is quite a lot, right? So which means to say that after the age of 6, even if I say 100% brain development, only 15% is left beyond age 6. Wow, that's a big number. And that is exactly what we need to be worrying about or focusing on when we talk about 85%. Now, even if we give 10-15% leeway, it is like 70-75%, man. And that's also a big number. And it is not just mentioned for the sake of mentioning. There is a lot of research that has gone into it. The neurological research done by many researchers, academicians, and scientists, they are almost the same. So there is no question of doubting this number. Well, if that is the case, then what is to be done is access for children aged 3 to 8. They have increased it by another 2 years. That's okay. 3 to 8 years to a flexible, multifaceted, multi-level, play-based and activity-based education is of utmost importance. Now, why is it important? Because 85% of the cumulative brain development occurs prior to the age of 6. So between the age of 2 and 6 or 2 and 7 or 2 and 8, children need to be given flexibility, multifaceted approach, multi-level, play-based, activity-based education is of utmost importance. This is again mentioned in the National Education Policy. So if you actually look at this age group, there is a lot of need for providing them with a lot of learning, lot of access, lot of topics, and whole lot of experiments that they can do, which is activity based. Right? Now, how have we done that? Let's go a little further. Let's see a little bit more. Now, it also says Now, the national education policy also says we are in a severe learning crisis. A large proportion of students in elementary school have not attained foundational literacy and numeracy. Oh my goodness. So the focus has to be on foundational literacy and foundational numeracy, which is basically language. When we talk about literacy, it's all about language. And numeracy is all about numbers. Okay, having said that, fine. Now there is a crisis. So what are they saying? If action is not taken soon over the next few years, the country could lose 10 crore or more students from the learning system and to illiteracy. We spoke about this earlier. So this is the number. I'm not talking in air. I'm actually referring to what is being mentioned in the national education policy. And this is what it is. And attaining foundational literacy and numeracy for all children must become an immediate national mission and an indispensable, non-negotiable part of the curriculum. Okay, fine. This is the context on which we are talking about as to what 3I methodology is all about, what will it achieve, and how we are in alignment with what the national education policy is talking about. Okay, let's go a little forward. What is it mentioned in the national education policy on the early childhood care and education? The highlights. It says supervised play-based education. There needs to be supervision. Yes, it could be the supervision of the teachers, supervision of the parents, supervision of the grandparents. There needs to be some supervision by somebody elder. Okay, in groups and individually. Okay, in groups, when schools start, it will be all group learning. It's the collective learning that the children would learn a lot by interacting and by observing how each one behaves in different situations, right? And individually as well. I learn a lot when I'm individually at home, probably looking at something, reading something, or seeing something. Okay, what it says, supervised play-based education in groups and individually is considered particularly important during this age range to naturally build up the child's innate abilities. We are all born intelligent. We spoke about it. We are all born with probably 8 or 16 multiple intelligences. Now that needs to come out, right? Those are child's innate abilities, inborn abilities, and all important life skills of cooperation, teamwork, social interaction, compassion, equity, inclusiveness, communication, cultural appreciation, playfulness, curiosity, creativity, as well as the ability to successfully and respectfully interact with teachers. Now look at this. Successfully and respectfully interact with teachers. This brought about the aspect of the respect to the teachers and elders, which is the behavioral part of it. We are covering that, and how we have addressed it is also I will talk about it. But look at all of this. Teamwork, social interaction, communication, playfulness, cultural appreciation. Now, cultural appreciation is something that we Indians are born with because we get exposed to so many cultural diversity in India. Every day is a festival. Every day is something or the other of some culture or some religion, some faith, some belief, whatever it could be, right? We need to appreciate all of it. There is no other country in this world which has so much diversity as India has. That's the beauty. And we have incorporated all of this into our books. We will talk about it. Right? It says it is important that children of ages 3 to 8 have access to flexible, I spoke about it, right? Multifaceted, multi-level, play-based, activity-based, and discovery-based education. If I can provide them the right direction, they will discover on their own. Now, how can we do that? By providing them the right learning environments. And how does that happen? In the schools. Unfortunately, last 2 years, the schools have been closed. But nevertheless, from up to 3 years to preschool to the end of grade 2. Now, why is this age 8 come there? If you all remember, it is the structural changes that have been recommended in the national education policy of the 5+3+3+4 structure. The first 5 years is what it takes to grade 2, right? which talks about being the fundamental stage. It is necessary, therefore, to develop and establish such an integrated foundational curricular and pedagogical framework and corresponding teacher preparation. Teacher also need to be prepared around it, right? For this critical foundational stage of a child's development. Okay. First is that this age is very important. Foundational years, very important. Close to 85% of brain development happens. That means there's a lot of learning that can happen. You throw anything to them and they will learn it very easily. It could be language, it could be poems, it could be stories, it could be rhymes, it could be anything. They pick it up very fast. How can we build that beyond what we are doing as of now?